The house that learned my name. I first heard my name spoken by the house on a Tuesday night, just after 2:17 a.m. At the time, I didn't understand how important the exact minute was. I only remember staring at the red numbers of the digital clock on my nightstand, watching them glow through the darkness while my mind struggled to wake up. Daniel. The voice wasn't loud. It wasn't angry. It wasn't even frightening in the usual sense. It sounded careful, like someone standing in the doorway, unsure whether I was asleep. I sat up slowly, every muscle tight. My bedroom was exactly as I'd left it. Half-unpacked boxes stacked against the wall, clothes draped over a chair, the faint outline of moonlight cutting across the floor. "Hello," I whispered. Silence answered, but it wasn't empty silence. It had weight to it, like something crouching just beyond hearing. I lay back down and told myself it had been a dream. The house didn't argue. The shape of loneliness. I bought the house because it was quiet. Too quiet, most people would have said. The kind of quiet where even your thoughts feel loud. But after my divorce, after the endless nights in a too-small apartment listening to neighbors' live fuller lives through thin walls, quiet felt like mercy. The town itself seemed unfinished, like it had been abandoned halfway through becoming something. Closed diners. Empty gas stations. A school with boarded windows and a playground rusting into the dirt. The realtor never unlocked the door for me. "Go ahead," she said, standing back. "Take your time." I remember hesitating before turning the key, an odd sense of déjà vu sliding over me, thick and unpleasant. For a moment, I was sure I'd stood on that porch before. When I finally stepped inside, the air felt wrong. Not stale, not damp, just expectant, like the house had been waiting. The first adjustments. The first few days passed quietly. Then the house began adjusting itself. Doors I closed were open again when I returned. Windows I swore were locked stood cracked just enough to let cold air bleed inside. I blamed old hinges, warped frames, my own forgetfulness. The sounds came later. Scratching inside the walls, slow and methodical. Not like rodents, too deliberate, too thoughtful. Sometimes it paused, as if listening for my reaction. Once, while brushing my teeth, I heard breathing behind me. Not mine. Warm. Close. I met my own eyes in the mirror and didn't turn around. When the breathing stopped, I rinsed my mouth with shaking hands and pretended nothing had happened. The house liked that. Names have power. It said my name more often after that. Not every night. Not predictably. Sometimes weeks passed in silence, lulling me into believing it had stopped. Then, Daniel. From the hallway. From beneath the floor. From the ceiling, stretched thin and warped. It never shouted. It never begged. It practiced. I started answering before I realized what I was doing. Yes. What? Who's there? Each time, the house grew bolder. Each time, I felt something slip loose inside me. The rules of the house. I began noticing rules. The house didn't speak when anyone else was nearby. The delivery driver. The mail carrier. The rare neighbor passing by. It waited. It didn't speak during the day. It never repeated itself. And most importantly, it never used my name unless I was alone. I tried recording the sounds. Every time I pressed play, the audio came back clean. Empty. Mocking in its silence. The house didn't like being documented. The dreams grow teeth. The dreams returned, sharper than before. Now I remembered them when I woke. In them, the house was alive in a way waking reality could never capture. Walls pulsed softly. Floors breathed beneath my feet. Hallways rearranged themselves behind me, ensuring I could never return the way I came. The black door waited at the end, closer each night. Sometimes I heard other voices behind me in the dreams, murmuring, sobbing, whispering names I didn't recognize but somehow understood belonged to people who had failed. One night, I opened the door. Inside was not a room, but a memory. My own. Cracks in time. I began losing hours. I'd sit down to eat and look up to find the plate empty and the sky outside dark. I'd wake with dirt beneath my fingernails and no idea how it got there. My phone filled with photos I didn't remember taking. The basement. The chair. Close-ups of the wall carved with names. Some of them were crossed out. Some were circled. One photo showed the chair occupied. The face was blurred, but I recognized the hands. The basement was always there. The basement door did not appear. It was revealed. The house hadn't changed. My memory had. As soon as I accepted that, the headache stopped. The nausea faded. In their place came a calm understanding. I went down willingly this time. The chair felt warm when I touched it, like it remembered me. The restraints were adjusted perfectly to my size. They always were. The truth beneath the floor. The documents weren't hidden. They were placed. Police reports dating back nearly a century. Names repeating every few decades. Always the same pattern. The occupants were chosen because they already belonged. The house didn't trap strangers. It called its own back home. I had lived here before. More than once. Each time, I had tried to destroy it. Burn it. Bury it. Leave it behind. Each time, the house waited. Patient. Houses are very good at waiting. What the house wants. It doesn't want blood. It wants continuity. The house exists across layers of time, folding memories into its walls, names into its foundation. Each occupant strengthens it, anchors it more firmly into the world. When I carved my name into the stone, I bound myself to it. When I begged to forget, it granted my wish. For a while, the final lesson. I am sitting in the chair now. The restraints are tight. The bulb swings gently overhead, casting shadows that don't quite match my movements. The house is speaking, but not aloud. It is reminding me of everything I chose to forget. Soon, I will carve my name again. Soon, I will ask for mercy. Soon, I will leave. And someday, when loneliness grows sharp enough, I will return. I always do. A message for you. If you ever find a house that feels too familiar, if the walls seem to listen, if you hear your name spoken softly, carefully, lovingly, do not answer. Do not teach it how you sound. Because once a house learns your name, it never forgets. And neither will you. Not forever.